It had been a blood and guts battle, period, for me, and I wouldn't have allowed it to happen in my eyesight or my view. But it wasn't there. But now she went to the police after she left, and she got the police to go back. They arrested 6 people. The part of the story, which is, I mean, this is the movie's a little bit different than what actually happened. I mean, it was the accused was released in '88. The actual case. If you think I'm a liar and I'm just trying to make the movie sound real, the story is Big Dan, D-A-N-S, case. It happened in 1983. And it went to court. Now, it was like 2 years later, or the whole time that this court case went on and actually came to a conclusion. 2 people were arrested and sentenced. One was given, let's see, how many years? I think one was about, where did I put it? 6 years, and the other one was 9 to 12 years, and the other one was 6 to 8 years. The 2 other rapists were let go. The 2 people that pushed and begged them and were making it happen were let go. And obviously nothing was done to anybody in the bar that watched it. It shows you the atrocities that man does and lets it go by. Now, I don't understand how in court a judge can say, well, blah, blah, blah. He didn't really do it. He didn't really do it, but he did. Oh, he's young. He's young? Does that make it better? So, age and all these things, like Bill Cosby's got, what, 6 to 10 years? He probably won't live 3 years if he stays in jail. If he stays in jail, are they going to keep him in consolidated confinement? I said, no, let him stay with the rest of the guys. I don't know if anybody would want to have sex with an old guy like that, but let him get what he deserves while he's there. But, yeah. Again, the case is in court. We're going to hear all about it the next couple of days. Getting back to this story of the accused, it was violent, and it angered me so much because of what really happened. And then the other, Cuckoo's Nest was another rape scene as well, which I didn't even watch the movie. I couldn't. So, yeah. And I'm telling you, most men love to watch it. There was a movie that came called I Spit on Your Grave. I was little. All my friends said, let's watch this movie. It was horrible. Another movie, just perverted, twisted. I mean, it was a story. Girl gets raped by, 6 guys, and the whole rest of the movie is how she kills them all. But it was, I mean, that part was okay, but even how she got to that point to kill him was even bad. So, yeah, it was a horrible, horrible movie. They put these things out that are so horrible to the thinking of the human race, and man dwells and cherishes it. Why is that? Because they're a sick race. Sorry to say, luckily, I did study with medicine women. I did study the female energy and learned all about it and became part of it and all those things. I learned, and then I had my past lives, which opened up the doorway to all of the answers to all of that. But to say I'm a man, happy I'm a man, I'm not. Men are ignorant. They always will be. Until they rise above it, which I don't see happening any time in the near future, and I'm talking about multiple incarnations. Mankind wants to go to the moon and Mars and talking about all that other stuff. It has nothing to do with spiritual growth. No religious teachings or spiritual truth are in any schools or any classes. Like this person that said they would love to if they had money, they'd help me. I want to start a school, a spiritual school, and there are none. Oh, I just pulled up the one spiritual awakening, and she's going to teach you how to read cards. That's not spiritual. What these people believe and associate to the word spiritual, put the word God there. Oh, and I'm talking, I've been dealing with the guy that wrote How to Talk to God, Conversations with God. We don't agree, and I think he's totally into delusional ideas. Because when you come out of any experience, I talk to angels, I talk to this, and we need to enforce love. You can't enforce love. Love's not something that you can enforce or make happen. And I give a scenario. The world's balanced. No, it's not. You can force a person to hate you, but you can't force a person to love you. That's out of balance. So when people believe that and accept that, you say you're living in the wrong world. You're in hell. Only bad things can happen. I mean, what good things happen in reality? You have a child, And are you going to take care of the child? You're going to feed the child? You're going to give them the right teachings? You're going to teach them about protection? You're going to teach them about God, the truth? Or you're going to fantasize and tell them you're God and let him think he go out and do whatever he wants? Freedom is the most opposite to the truth of what God and how it relates to God. And I'll say this: freedom means total responsibility to God. Otherwise, you don't get the freedom that you think you're going to get. Ever. If it wasn't true, everybody would be doing incredible bad things and in great ways. I mean, even to make it rain over your city because it's a drought, you're taking the rain from somewhere else and making it happen over you. You're doing something that nature already figured out what it wanted to do, how it moves and the events it's going to take. And government's doing that. So we got a twisted reality. And then we got time travel and all those other things, which I'm not going to get into. But getting back to this whole thing, with this case going down, Ford actually had a polygraph taken. The results are in. Now, I'm not totally for that. I mean, they need to have them done, because if you're guilty on that, you're guilty. But if you're innocent, you still can be guilty. That's all I'm going to say about it. Because here's the thing. If you believe your story, you tell yourself over and over something happened, and you believe it, you're going to pass the lie detector test on that because you believe it within yourself. Even if it's a dream. You had a bad dream, and you say, well, yeah, that really happened. Yeah, it really happened. And you believe it happened, or it had to happen. And you take a lie detector test, you're not going to jump out of nervous because you're saying the truth. So, and the reason why I say this was all these UFO stories now, they say, well, you take a lie detector test. And they say, yes. And they all pass them. While they said they had sex with an alien, or the alien took their sperm and created a village of their people. And I mean, all the stories are ridiculous, crazy, and out there. Well, yeah, there's multiple ways to cheat a lie detector test, but the second part of it, which I didn't say yet, if you can't get the right answer, or you feel you didn't get the truth, give them truth serum. That's almost 99% accurate. And here's the thing, and I'll tell everybody why it's not being used. Men do not want to be in a spot where their truth has to come out. If you cheat on your wife, you don't ever want anybody else to know that happened or let it come out. And if you were injected with truth serum, you'd say it. The lie detector test, you could possibly beat it. But again, I went through all those kind of things in my childhood with my father and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not good. It's not right. And we need to work on the truth. And settling for a lawyer that has more money than another lawyer that can get a better decision and everything else is ridiculous. That's not where we need to go. We need to revamp our Congress, and we need to revamp our justice system as far as lawyers. Because, if somebody has a video and the police are watching and he's killing all these people, do we need to really prove that he did it? Well, that could have been made by who? Joe's homemaking movie business company, or whatever. And then you got 10 witnesses. Here's the thing. If you have multiple witnesses, you'll usually win the case no matter what. Sadly to say, which is could happen this week with this whole thing, during this court case, Kavanaugh could actually have 6 of his friends, which already said, oh, he was a good guy and all this. Your witnesses could all lie, and you can be free or brought charges against somebody. And if here's the thing, getting back to why I brought the accused up. If you stick together with your story, you can make the other person, the one that's innocent, guilty. And in a court of law, it's going to say that they were wrong. So, but luckily there's other people coming out saying what kind of a person he was and drinking and all that, and the way he talked about drinking in the club that they had and all that. So his character, if you walk, and another thing, Congress people are Congress people. President people are president people. Meaning you have to have that ego to run for it. The same as a cop. A cop has an ego, and the ego is to carry a gun. And when you put a gun on your body, you suddenly become Superman. And then ego is enforced within your reality. So the situations that we're building are destructive to us. They're only going to hurt us. When I was little, they outlawed guns. Why do everybody have guns again? I mean, they outlawed smoking, but they didn't outlaw drinking. I mean, it's scenarios of what makes money, nothing else. And if people don't realize the banking companies, in New York, I always carried a knife. I had a gun. I got rid of it right away because I said I would use it. If I keep a gun, I'd use it. So, well, people ignorant in the old days, they're more ignorant now because we're supposed to be getting smarter and more aware. If you're aware you're destroying the planet, you stop destroying the planet. If we're destroying love and relationships, you stop that. Relationships can't stay together. The numbers are so high, it's sad. 60% will break up. I mean, the first 2 years, the first 5 years, first 10 years, and even 20 years they're breaking up now, which is even sadder. You don't think in 20 years you're going to learn to work out the problems and fix them or accept them? So love is becoming so watered down to the idea, well, if it doesn't feel right, like they say, if the shoe doesn't fit. Really? And that's what men think, which is wrong. You fall in love with the soul of a person first before you get on a shoe size. It's sickening at every level. And man is ingrained within that negative energy. The goddess could stand here and stamp on the ground, and men would start shooting at her. We don't need you. I have too much sex in my life, or I'd lose it, or whatever. It's a perverted, twisted world called hell. And if it's not going to be changed, which it has to be, we're not going to get anywhere. Except the destruction of the world. And then when you reincarnate, you'll probably be reincarnating onto one of the alien worlds again and stuff and start all over. If that's what you want, oh, well, that'd be cool. Well, we believe things. The old saying, I like everything on the other side of the fence. That's not in my yard. When you jump on the other side, is it any better over there? Seriously. Sure, you step in the millionaire's house, everything seems beautiful. But everything's fake. Without God, without love, without compassion, without truth, there's nothing. And you don't need anything other than yourself to have love in your life. Because if you love God, it's always in your life and it's there. But what is that love? Is it your protection from getting mugged or this? No. There's other angels and things that you can learn to work with that are there for that. God's not going to take its personal time to deal with you on a one-to-one basis because you're one of his pets. No. When souls are ready to take a giant jump, God will give it a spark of light and things and stuff, but it still doesn't play teacher, and you have to listen to everything it says. It's hoping you step into that. When somebody says they're self-realized, that means they're understanding selves with their soul. What God realized means you're becoming aware of God and you within that reality. So look, the show's over. My time has run out. I'm so sorry. There was a lot more I really could have gotten to and wanted to. But again, tell your friends, everybody you know, put it on their email, send it to them, tell them to listen. The world's going to crash soon. Do you want to be on the one of the people that helped the crash or the ones that tried to stop it? We don't have time. Time's run out. Too many times. So, please, open up your heart, your mind, get involved, do something, anything positive that can help in any way. Man, I would tear apart all the people out there speaking because they're not helping us getting closer to the truth. They're telling everybody everything's beautiful, perfect. It's not. And we need to be aware and change that. So please, thank you for coming in. Tell your friends that, like I said, it should be up in an hour. You can tell anybody to watch it. Hope they do. They might just get something out of this. I could have got into a lot of more stories in between, what was going on, what's real. But thank you. It was always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to put my time and give it out there to anybody that's listening and willing to listen. Whether you got something. Hopefully you did. Love, light, compassion, everybody. Till next time.